In this short video, we'll review the instructions for Unit 1 discussion topic, which is checking credit card numbers using Loon's algorithm, which is also known as the Mod 10 algorithm, and it's named after Hans Peter Loon, who worked at IBM. It uses modular arithmetic to determine the validity of a credit card number using the account number. This algorithm can detect any single-digit error as well as almost any transposition of adjacent digits. I'll demonstrate how the algorithm works using this credit card number as an example. The first question in the discussion asks you to identify the issuer of the credit card, and remember the first 6 digits identify the card issuer, and there's a table provided in the discussion instructions. And we see that this credit card was issued by MasterCard because it starts with a 52. All right, so now we'll use Loon's algorithm. So what you're going to do is start on the right-hand side of the credit card number with the next to the last digit, and you're going to highlight or underline every other digit moving toward the left. Now we're going to go through and double the underlined or highlighted numbers. So the 9 becomes an 18, the 1 becomes a 2, 1 becomes a 2, the 3 becomes a 6, and so forth. In the next step, wherever we have a product that was 2 digits, actually going to separate into the individual digits, and I'll demonstrate that in step 3. So if you notice here, the 10 becomes a 1 and a 0, the 16 becomes a 1 and a 6, and the 18 becomes a 1 and an 8, because now we want to add up all those single digits to get the sum that we're going to use to check the validity of the card. So now we add up all the numbers, the single digit numbers, and in this case we get a sum of 60. If the credit card is valid, the final sum must be congruent to 0 mod 10. That means when we divide the sum by 10, we get a remainder of 0. And we see in this case, if we take 60 and divide by 10, we indeed get 6 remainder 0, so this credit card number is valid. Let's try another credit card number. You might want to stop the video at this point and go ahead and check this one on your own and see if you come up with the same answer I do. Who issued this credit card? So we see from the table that it was issued by American Express. Okay, so we're going to start on the right-hand side again, next to the last digit, and highlight or underline every other digit. We're going to double those underlined digits. And again, we're going to separate out the products that are 2 digits in the next step when we create the sum. So if you notice here, the 10 becomes a 1 and a 0, the 14 becomes a 1 and a 4, and we see another 10 and 14 here, which also become the individual digits. And then we're going to add up all those single digits. And in this case, we get a sum of 74. Now remember, the credit card was valid if the sum was congruent to 0 mod 10. Here we see it's not, because when we take 74 and we divide by 10, we get 7 remainder 4, which means the credit card is not valid. So to summarize, we tested the validity of 2 credit card numbers. Here's the first number we tested. It was issued by MasterCard. We came up with a sum of 60, and we said it was a valid credit card because it was congruent to 0 mod 10. Then we checked a second credit card, which was issued by American Express, that was not valid because we came up with a sum of 74, which was not congruent to 0 mod 10. Your assignment, you're going to pick one of the 5 numbers shown here, also included in the instructions, and you're going to answer the following questions. Who issued the credit card? Using Loon's algorithm, what is the sum? And I wanted you to show the calculations in your posting. And then finally, is the credit card number valid? And explain your answer.